another late week recap. This is gonna be week 2 of June. Gonna go over all the good setups that happened this week. Monday and Friday were pretty slow. I don't think there was anything. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were pretty good. I don't believe there was any losses this week. Maybe like 2 or 3 wins and a break even. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. So starting off on Monday, I believe it's the 8th. Yep, the 8th. I'm just gonna go back to 11 a.m. and just run through, what possible setups there were. So we do have this untapped. I think it's an hourly above, as a pretty decent DOL. I mean, we really don't have much considering that there's like a fucking void over here, right? There's no generated liquidity or anything, so you're kind of just assuming. We do generate an order block. We tap into this hourly down here. Oh, wrong button. No, I don't know what the fuck that was, but no. Sweeping this internal low, hit this 15-minute down here. We get a reaction to the upside, so let's see what kind of setups that were possible. Okay, now I remembered. Yeah, so we got some decently generated liquidity up here, which I really liked, and I would have loved longs here. However, the entry model did take centuries to present itself, and then not only that, but that thing wasn't popping up. I don't know why. But we also had generated lower time frame LRLR below, so that's why I personally did not like this. If we just go to the 1 minute again, here's where the 5 minute got presented, but I just don't like the fact that we generated this. I would have loved to see like a nice manipulation like lower and then set up to the upside. But for me personally, I do not like this. I could see it. I like this entry more. Well, no, I actually don't. I take that back. So we still have some gaps up here that I'm not really 100% sold on. Like I said, I don't know. It's just a typical no news Monday. So, but this, I mean, it looks good. Yeah, we inversed this gap that was holding for about 5 minutes, but we just generated more low resistance. So I really personally don't like anything here. DOL was right though. I will say that. And yeah, that's gonna be about it for that day. But on to the actual good days. Let's go. I gotta do a week recap for this week and then next week. So I'm kind of fucking fried right now. Don't feel like doing any of these. Oh my gosh. And my MacBook's being slow as shit, dude. I need to actually figure out what the fuck is happening with that. Okay, so Tuesday. Let's bring this back to market open. Can you stop being a slow piece of shit and let me finish this fucking recap? Thank you. Okay, so obviously we have nicely generated low resistance right here on a bit of a higher time frame scale, and then we have London low, which is an untapped hourly, or 4 hour, my bad, paired with this order block. We are inside of a huge 4 hour gap right now. We have this massive order block right here as well, so that's nice. Getting shorts off open after we just manipulate higher would be good. There's really nothing key level we can look for to reverse off of. Kind of reversed off nothing. There's no SMT there or anything like that, so we're just, I don't know. Don't have much of a higher time frame narrative at this point in time, just kind of waiting and watching. I think we do have like equilibrium or something. What was it? Which day was it? I don't quite remember. That might have been the previous week. I don't know. Okay, so we had equilibrium up here. I'm gonna actually mark that to see if we hit that. Right there. Alright, that's gonna be this entire range from here, because the previous week we dumped like a shit ton. That's the most I've ever seen as a dump. But yeah. Now back onto the 5 minute. I'm just gonna play this on the 5 minute because there's really no entries we can look for on the 1 minute. But yeah, just waiting for a good manipulation higher. I really like equilibrium of that range. So we do dump lower, possibly present an entry. I'm not so sure. Yeah, we actually blast through EQ this range. Definitely hitting those order blocks over here to the left of us right there. And yeah, this is a really good reversal point if we can, get a good V shape, which we did. All right, here's that 5 minute that we got. I don't really like the rejection on here, but if we go to the 15 minute, it looks pretty good, right? The 1 minute, let's just see, run through this. You can see the very nice V shape here. That looks beautiful, man. We get a 2 minute around right here. We get a 3 minute and the 5 minute close at the same time, so that's a 3 minute getting closed, and then the 4 minute actually gave a earlier entry, but I like the 5 minute more. The 5 minute and 3 minute getting inverse is a really good confluence. stop above the IFEG. Main target for around a 1-to-1, around a 1.1 R would be this low, this is actually equal lows as well as London low, so that's a really good target, and it's also an unfilled gap. This is a very fucking good trade. Now this, unfortunately, I believe probably would have been break even. I'm not sure because I didn't take this trade. It's honestly all discretional, but yeah, this would definitely be a break even mechanically wise. Mechanical. I don't know how the fuck to say this word right. Alright, whatever. But yeah, we hit this internal low, we come back up, start chopping a bit, and then we flush down lower. And I guess your further target could be this untapped hourly down here, but this is honestly all I would be looking for. And that's what's all I was looking for, right? I don't think we gave any other continuation model. We did tap that 5 minute. That's way too low in discount, so there's really no valid entry. We end up sweeping Asia low, coming all the way down here. Yeah, I really don't give a fuck about the rest. That's the setup for that day. On to Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday was really fucking nice. Alright. We tap into, we actually don't respect any of these imbalances over here. I don't even think we tapped into any hourly, or definitely not a 4 hour. Yeah, the hourly got no hourly there. 4 hour, absolutely nothing, bro. The only thing we have is this rejection wick coming off of sweeping this low here. I mean, yeah, it seems about it. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame and just mark. Probably hit like OTE of this range, right? Okay, so not even OTE, but we did hit. We're in discount of this range, so it makes sense for a reversal. And we already established that this bullish narrative here, because although we didn't really hit anything key level, you can see that we clearly did reverse with a nice V shape, inversing these gaps, breaking structure, and then overall just headed towards this DOL. You can see we have low resistance there. We have low resistance built all the way over here. Oh my gosh, that was a crazy voice crack. But yeah. So we have, yeah, just low resistance. All the DOL and everything made sense. We had bullish structure, so all we're looking for is a simple continuation model. If we get proven wrong, if we get shorts, then we're probably just wrong on the day. But I really don't see myself looking for shorts at all. I can't see a scenario as to why I would look for shorts. But enough yapping, I'm gonna fucking play this shit. So yeah, even on the lower time frame, we have great generated liquidity. Look at this, dude. Holy shit. We have a small set of equal highs. We have low resistance. Man, it's just that's really what you want to see. So market open, we pump up, we generate equal highs. We have a 930 wick up here, so this is already an A plus DOL. All we're waiting for is the manipulation, right? We put in our accumulation, we put in a good set of a good DOL, and all right, it's just gonna show that before. So all this trade was essentially just a continuation model and a lower time frame reversal. So we sweep this lower time frame, draw on liquidity. We hit the 5 minute. All right, filled that 5 minute. We filled the 15-minute as well. Maybe we have an hourly. I don't think so. Yeah, nothing much on the hourly. And even though we're in this huge hourly fair value gap right here, it's not really scaring me at all, just because, like I said, everything aligned with the DOL. The 15-minute, 5-minute, every other piece of time frame structure aligned perfectly, as well as all of the DOLs being in place. Like, it's just, there's really no reason to be fearful of that hourly. If it holds, it holds, but this is a really good setup. We have great displacement to the upside. Inversing this 15-second here. Who gives a fuck about this 15-second? We already showed crazy displacement. We already inversed this one. There's really no reason to wait for anything else, unless you want a shittier entry. We have a 30-second getting inverse right there, around the same time as that 15-second. I would have liked a 1 minute gap right here. That would have been really, really nice. But yeah, 15 seconds are pretty risky. I personally didn't take this trade. I wasn't prepared for it. But yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see. And we just fucking bull ran all the way up here. Hit this high. We hit London high, sweeping this low resistance. And then final TP would be up here, but that's just too far for my liking, for my personal style of trading. This was a nice 1.5R, so we came back, we hit OTE of this, you know, range that we put in for market open up until now. Bull ran back to the upside. We failed to hit Asia high. We pulled back. Now, I didn't take this trade. I feel like, I don't know, just there's really no valid entry, and again, it was a really low time frame entry. We don't even have a 5-minute, so the 5-minute chart's looking pretty ass here. But we do generate a 15-minute that we tap into, and then, yeah, once we tap into, there's no fair value gap on the 1-minute, as you can see. There's nothing on even on the 30-second as well. There's just nothing. It's all the way up here. The only thing there is another 15-second. We have this gap here. So, bang, 15-minute, or what the fuck, 15-second, 15-minute tap, and then a 15-second entry model. Break even at this internal high here. Targets at Asia high, which is essentially relatively, yeah, it's basically just relatively equal highs. We have a 4-hour above. Really good setup here. Stops underneath this order block that we put in for around a 1.7R. We have good displacements to the upside, and then we just start chopping, right? We hit the break-even point and just start doing some bullshit. We run up, and we run back down, and we run up, and we run back down. Like, what the fuck is this? It'd be a nightmare holding this trade. So we're pretty much just generating liquidity here. That's all we're doing. And then we finally hit Asia high. We hit that 4-hour. And then pretty nice V-shape down. Let's see if we... What entry do I have up here? Okay. Alright, we generate more liquidity. Now, there's a 2-minute that got presented right here. A 2-minute. So the 1-minute obviously got inversed. So you would assume, you know, we're probably going to reverse. We hit the key levels. We have good generated liquidity. We have a 2-minute, but something like this, I guess, like, you know, like waiting for the higher time frame here would be much better. The 4-minute, I mean, did the 4-minute even close through? Okay, yeah, that 4-minute, you would have got fucking wrecked right there, but the only thing I can kind of take away from this is just the 3-minute did hold. If I play this out, you're going to see the 3-minute held. Yep, held like crazy. It's just because, like, I don't know, waiting for a better structure. Like right here, the entry model happened right when we tapped the lowers, or the, not trend line, but the line of low resistance that we were creating. Or we hit around that area, not necessarily tapped it exactly. I like this 1-minute. This 1-minute looks pretty clean, but again, just waiting for it. We're already in that 3-minute that was previously holding, so you might as well wait for that. But this looks cleaner because we have, yes, we did technically break structure here, but this looks like, this just looks overall cleaner. The displacement looks nice. We inversed the 3-minute that was holding. You know, just seeing all these gaps holding, and then finally breaking through, that's a really, really good sign. Break even would have been, I don't know, just once we see displacement. So yeah, once we came back past this low, I probably personally would have went break even. But I don't know, I didn't take this trade. The only good thing about this trade, and the only reason I would think of taking this trade, is because of this low resistance that we had generated right here. Right? That's literally the only thing. If we didn't have low resistance, I would not be looking to trade this at all. But yeah, that ends up getting hit. And that's pretty much it for this day. Damn, that was 3 setups, bro. Win, break even, another break even. I really don't care or like this trade too much. This is more of a discretional play, but yeah, that's gonna be it. Then we got Thursday, all right, the last day where we actually have a setup. All right, so let's see what we got here. So off the rip, you can see the low resistance we have up here. We have London low. We swept London low, so this looks like a nice reversal point. We come down, we generate an SMT with ES right there. This 1 hour was actually holding. This tiny ass 1-minute was holding. That was a pretty good sign. We hit this order block right there. On the 4 hour, really nothing much. I think we do have a higher time frame SMT. Yeah, we have a higher time frame SMT with these lows. Boom, boom. And then on NQ, you can see bang, bang. Pretty simple. Yeah, overall, just looking pretty bullish. I don't think we hit EQ this range. I'm not too sure. Yeah, we did not hit EQ, but it's all fine and dandy because we got the SMT. we have the fair value gaps to back it up. If I go to the 50-minute chart, you also see another pretty big 50-minute that we ended up holding, right there. So yeah, really, really good. Also, I love the fucking low resistance that we generated up here, as well as these equal highs. We did give a 30 or a 15-second entry model here, but that wasn't valid because ES hadn't swept this low, and it was very obvious that ES wanted to seek that low out. And once we generated these equal highs, manipulated lower, ES took the low out, making an SMT. Inversing this 1 minute BPR, having the low resistance in play. This was fucking diabolical, bro. Billy Butcher style. Oh my gosh, this shit was so fucking beautiful, bro. Holy shit. We just straight up delivered all the way to this low resistance, London high. And that's pretty much all I was looking for this day. Alright, that was really it. Ended up coming down lower, lower, lower. I think we had a 4-hour. Yeah, this is what I was looking at. Final TP for me, which I liked, which I wouldn't aim for, but again, too high. But what I really liked was this hourly and 1 hour rejection block that paired up pretty, like, literally exactly on each other, bro. So that was a really good target. After we hit that, we got shorts from here, but I don't like shorts because I don't trade rejection blocks specifically, right? I just use them as a complement, so that's why I didn't like that. Yeah, that's gonna be it. I guess I'll go into Friday and show how much of a shithole that was. Let's see, where's Friday? Where's Friday? Friday looked like some hot ass, bro. Yeah, I like reversals off this London sweep. Not much of a crazy DOL. We have an untapped hourly. We had this untapped 50-minute that ended up getting hit. It just took way too long for the entry model to appear, and you would have to extend TP past the 1-to-1 to get like a valid, target. Because the only valid target here was the hourly, and yeah, stops beneath this order block under the candle closure, or the candle that inversed. But yeah, there's really nothing much, so that's gonna be it, and I'm gonna dip because I got another week recap to do, which is this past week. Should be pretty fast though. It was a really slow week. We only had 2 setups, so hopefully I can get that done in like 10 minutes. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna be it, and I'm out.